Hello and welcome. Today we are going to see what is a registry in the Windows operating system. We are going to explore the registry. I will show you how to open a registry editor and browse the registry keys, the root keys. What is a root key that is provided by Windows OS? Also, how can we create our own key? How we can get and set the values from the Windows registry key? And how to delete a registry key, also how to delete the registry key recursively, in the sense that we can delete all the keys, all the values that are contained inside one single key. So let's explore this and find out how to open a registry editor first. So to open a registry editor, just open a run dialog and type regedit, that is a registry editor, and you must have admin rights to open this, otherwise you will not be able to open the registry editor window. So because it asks for the user account control, UAC is actually, it needs elevation, that is it needs admin rights. So when you have admin rights, you can open it. And here on the left side you can see a lot of things. It looks like folders, and these folders, these are starting from the h key underscore, these are called the root keys, and these root keys are provided by the Windows operating system. So it looks like a hierarchical database that stores the configuration settings of the operating system. Also, if you are writing your own software, you can use a Windows registry to save some settings, and uh, your software can perform according to these settings. Whatever user has set, you can just set the keys and values in the registry. So let's explore this. There is something called the HKey local machine, there's something called HKey current user. As you can see, these two are having a similar kind of structures. We have software here, we have software here, that's a more important thing. So let's say we want to create a key inside HKey local machine software, and here directly we want to create some key. So not like this, we want to create using our C++ program. How can we do that? So the very important thing, if we are running an operating system of 64-bit, and through our C++ code, that is our 32-bit application, if I want to create a registry key here, it will automatically go and get saved in a wow6432 node folder. So inside this you will find your created registry key, because the OS, what happens, this wow6432 node registry entry indicates that you are running a 64-bit version of Windows. So the OS is 64-bit, and whenever you are trying to create from your application a key, it will directly come and get created here in this location inside wow6432 node. So let's see how can we do that using C++. Let's open our Visual Studio, and I have one console application already created. So let's start with it. Let's start with some includes, and so the very first thing what I will do, I will write down a function to open a registry key, and inside this we will say, first we'll check if key is already present. If yes, do nothing, else create a key. So let's do this small business first, and let's write down a function. This function is going to open a key, and let's say it will return our h key, and the function name we will say open registry key, and it requires a parameter. So the parameter will pass as a root key, the very first thing that is really required, and the sub key, so wchar underscore t pointer, we will say our str root key, no, this is sub key. The first one is the root key, the next one the sub key. So what is a root key? As I already said you, uh, these things what are provided by the Windows OS on the left side that starts from the H key underscore. These are the root keys. Okay, so let's start with this. So we have H key that we will be returning a handle to the key what we are going to open, and let's have a long L error reg open key X. This is a Windows API function. This will be useful to check whether a key is existing or not. So we have different kind of access. We can open a key in read mode, write mode, all access mode. So let's open it in all access mode right now. So let's add the root key first. Root key in the sense H key underscore local machine or whatever. Now we will be having the sub key here. Next it requires options, not required here. Now the access, so the key all access we can open in read mode or write mode also. Right now I want it to be open in all access mode. Okay, we have these all modes here. Okay, so because I'm going to create a key, because if the key is not present we are going to create it now, and the reference to H key, so this will contain the result, and let's check if it gives error file not found. We have already prepared macro by Windows. File not found somewhere. Yes, I got it. So if the file is not found, we are going to create a key. If a key is already present, if yes, do nothing. If else, we are going to create a key. So here we are going to create a key. So to create a key, we have reg create key X, and again it needs h root key. So the root key and sub key, and then it requires that we don't need right now. Okay, again open it in key all access, and h key reference whatever we have. No, not that. Small h key, and then okay, yeah, security attributes. This will be null, this will be this, and finally I'll have null. So now this will be creating a root key, and let's see what it returns. Let's store it somewhere here, and if it's not equal to error success, then we are going to tell that something is wrong. Something is wrong. Could not open or create the key here. Okay, now let's compile this. Okay, sorry, we need to return this value, and yeah, let's call this function also. So open registry key, the very first thing we are going to do, we are going to open a key, and let's try to create a key inside H key local machine, and sub key we will give as software. Let's see, inside this we have software. Inside software we will try to create a key in this location. So let's give a double backslash. Double backslash we give because one backslash will be omitted uh, when I'm trying to write a string. So double backslash is required here. And now my software, or maybe I think my company will be more proper. My company. Okay. So this will first check whether the key is there or not. If the key is there, won't do anything else. We are going to create the key. Let's build this and see. And let's have a key returned here. Okay, now let's run this program, see what happens. Let's put a breakpoint. Okay, so the key is not found first of all. Now we are trying to create a key. It returned 5. 5 means that we are losing some admin rights. We are losing some privileges. So this is the error code 5 we are getting. So this is because we are not running in the admin mode. So to do this, either we can close the Visual Studio or open it with admin rights, or I'll show you we have a setting in the Visual Studio as well. So in the linker manifest file, you need to change the UAC, user account control execution level, as required administrator. So when you say apply and OK, and now when you try to run the program, it will close the Visual Studio when you grant this permission, and it will start it as administrator. And now here on the Visual Studio on the top side, you will be seeing administrator in the bracket. It is running in the administrator mode. So now let's run this and see what is happening. Now when I say create registry, now the reg create x key x, now it will return me error 0, that is success. And now let's see here the key is created or not. So in the HKey local machine software, let's refresh it by saying F5. My company, you will not get my company directly under software, because as I already said you, if you are running a 64-bit Windows operating system and your code is 32-bit, it will go and get saved inside the wow 6432 node. So now here I will be finding my company, and I did not include any values to it, so by default I'll get without any data. So in the right side, let's right now we are going to do that only. We are going to create some values and inside this key my company. So the first thing, how to create a key, is done. Now let's see, let's write a function to set the registry values, and let's give the root key here, or meta root key, and then lp string, and let's have a dword here. Now for setting the registry values, we use regset values ex, not values, value. Okay, okay. Here we need to give the root key and what value we are going to set. So let's write a value here. This value. Okay, and then this is something reserved, not required. Let's put it null. And then dword type, we can have rich dword here. Let's go inside this and I'll show you what it is exactly. It's a 32-bit number. This is 4, that is a 32-bit number. So let's give it registry word, and the address of data, and size of dword, and that's it, I guess. Yes. Oops, it's showing an error. Okay, so let's cast it back to lp byte, and I guess it will be fine. Yes. Okay, so now it says lpctstr. We have to give this is cstr. Okay, it requires ctstr. So now this function will be used to set the value to the registry in this route. So and let's catch the error. What error we have got after doing this? So if an error is not equal to error success, let's print it on the console something, so that we'll be able to know what is happening in the program. mm, Not able to set the registry value. Okay, and now let's try to set. Before that, let's write a get program. We will see what is the value currently, and then according to that value we will increment something. So let's say we will have a function to get the value from the registry, and definitely it requires a root key first. And the next thing, we will be having the same value what we want. So lp value here, um, to check for the query, we say reg query value x, I guess. Yes. Okay, so root key, and then it requires lp value name. So we have it, and then it wants a type, so the type will be giving reg dword. Sorry. Okay, no, so let's write it down here. So this is nothing but a dword, and let's give the address of this d type. Yes. And next, reference to data, let's have a data dword again, as in the previous case we had. uh, yes, just like this. So let's cast it back to lp byte, and then we need to define the size, so it needs lpd word. For this, let's have the size of data itself. Okay, that's it. So this will query with the value, to get the value from the registry. this function, and let's check for it if do we get an error. So get it back, error. Okay, so now let's return. It needs a return type as dwords. So we have a data here. Now we got the data. So let's return the data, and let's check. Let's get and set the value from the registry and to the registry. Um, till now everything is fine. So let's have a dword d my value 1, d my value 2, and we will call this function first. Let's check whether a value is there or not for this hash key that we already have got while opening the registry key. And let's say we are going to create one key called my value 1. Okay, let's put underscore my value 1. Okay, and before that we'll be checking whether the value any value is there for this or not. So let's try to check, get the value from registry for this guy. Okay, similarly for d my value 2, and we'll check for underscore 2. So whatever values we have got, let's multiply to 2 times, and similarly do it for the 2 second, or let's just add some values to it. Let's add 11 to it, and let's add 5 to it, let's add 5 to it. Okay, so now we are going to get some value from the registry for a corresponding key, and we are going to modify the value. We are going to increment the value by some integer, and let's set that value after incrementing it. We have already a function to set the value, set registry values. So let's call this, and key, and the value what I'll be giving now is let's have this guy my value 1 here, and the data will be this one, and let's do it for the second one, my value 2. For my value 2 we will have d my value 2, that will contain the incremented value by 5. So this will be the new value what I'll be setting here, and after doing all these things, um, let's close the registry key, call reg close key, and the h key. Now let's build the program and debug one by one. Let's see what happens. So press F9. Now we are going to check whether a key is there or not. So now we have found that key, so the returning error is 0 because we already have the key my company here, so it will not go and create direct another key with the same name, nothing. So now we have got h key, and now let's see whether some values there for these two things. So there is, it's giving some garbage values, so we are just setting some two values here, so these things are not proper. Now why it says garbage, so let's set these two guys first in the beginning. Before getting the value, let's set some values here. So let's set it to 0 0, and so now if we run the program, um, in the very beginning the values will be set to 0, and we will have 0 here, and next the value will be incremented to 5 5, and those two values will be set to 5 5. So but every time we run the program, every time we call this, every time it will be setting it to 0 first, again it will be setting it to the new value. So this is not proper. If let's say we can have a static bool so now if it is not already initialized to 0, we are going to do this. You can write it in your own way, so this is just a general format what I am showing you to do. And now let's set it to true, and now when we run this, it will initialize it only once to 0. So we have this false, so it will set it to 0 0. In the very beginning it is 0, and now it will set it to 5, so we have got 5 here. Now before closing I want to drag it back again, and now it will not initialize it to false again because it is a static bool. So as it is already initialized, it will not initialize it to 0 again, and now it will increment these 5 5 to 10 10. So these are the new values. So in this way we can write the values to a registry. In this way we can search if a key is present or not. So these two things we have got. Well, in main function I have written let's say we have a loop for, we are looping for 2 times, or we have a class, the class can be called any number of times, so at that time we can make use of this bool, static bool, to in the beginning to initialize it to 0, and just set the values again. So well, this is the function to get the value from registry, to set the registry value, to open a registry key. Now a very important thing is to delete the registry key. So let's write down a function to delete it, and confirm with a message box. and this will delete the key recursively. It means it will delete all the keys, all the sub keys, each and everything. So let's say if we have error success, let's show a message box showing, let's put a tchar or put L string. Okay, else let's also show a message box saying that the deletion is failed. Okay, now after doing all these things, let's try to delete the key before closing the key. Or anyways, I don't require the key now. Or let's do this before. Okay, so the root key, we have local machine, and the sub key, let's say we are having the same. I'll be searching for here only. And now this will delete the my company key. Let's change it to true now. I don't want the values to be set in the beginning, so let's have get the old value, and we're going to increment and set the new value now. Now we have some 1515 here. Now when I will execute the next statement, that is delete the registry key and confirm, here I'll get the key successfully deleted, and let's see when I refresh it. In the left side, in the left panel, that key will be gone, even the values will not be there. So these are the things how you can create a key, how you can search for a key, how you can delete a key recursively, how you can get the values, how you can set the values. So please leave comments. If you like my video, please subscribe. Thanks.